to go from that to this, that's like
he stayed at the he stayed at the like a relatively similar body fat percentage in these two photos, it seems.
20 to 30 pounds of actual muscle accrued, which is just not going to happen naturally, in my opinion. What's up, guys? Derek, moreplates.com. Today we are talking about the freshly shaven, nearly unrecognizable Boeing 747 latissimus dorsi spread barn door back and a half of a fucking human, Conor, the notorious McGregor, bro. He is a transformed human, seemingly unrecognizable. Like, what?
Yeah, his face just looks so different, dude.
What the fuck am I even looking at? This is like, he literally looks like Dorian Yates reincarnate, bro, from like years ago. Obviously not not, you know, to the magnitude of muscularity, but like the face has a bit of a resemblance to me. Like, that was the first thing I thought of personally when I saw it. But you hardly recognize him. You'd be like, who the fuck is this when you see this?
Dude, I'm that size. I could blow up from 155 to 185 easy with a couple months previous wrestler, but this is definitely otherworldly. Brother, if you can blow up from 155 to 185 in a couple months, you're putting on a shitload of fat. He maintained his low body fat percentage in both of those photos. That's insane. You can't put 30 pounds of pure muscle in approximately a year. That is without steroids, I mean. You can do that with steroids. And even then, you're pushing it to the fucking upper limit of what steroids will allow you to do. Okay? Especially at his age, like, bro, he's not like hitting puberty. You know what I mean? Like, there's a limit. Like, you don't peak until 35. Men don't peak until they're 35. That is at least like the scientific consensus on the matter. But still, that's like, you have the capacity to continue growing until 35. But at the age of 34, to be able to fucking hit like a natural growth spurt like that, no shot.
That's this big chin, goddamn, what's that guy? Crimson Chin. This guy is looking much different in the past few months, especially with the fresh shave and some of these new photos he's dropping of his absurd physique. Like, this is, again, it's not like he's ever been not jacked by normal person standards, but he has taken on, you know, he's gonna come in at 170 next time he fights, supposedly, and this is representative of that, apparently. Now, he has made multiple posts about it. Like, this is the sauciest I've ever.
Not peeled. Brother, the body fat percentage difference between this photo and the prior photo that they showed, that More Plays, More Dates showed, is like marginal. Maybe 1 to 2% body fat.
Ever seen him look in my life, personally. And he posted a shot of him at, you know, when he was weighing in at 145, 155, and then 170 question mark. And since deleted the post. Why exactly? I don't know. But obviously he didn't delete the post of him showing off the physique. Here he is, father-son work. And he is like these quads.
He is an athlete, different breed. No one can explain Michael Phelps' physique. Okay, that's the level of copium you're on is unimaginable. If Michael Phelps put on 35 pounds of muscle in like a year after recovering from like a gruesome injury, everyone would be like, oh, he's juicing. Like, that's crazy.
Especially to me, like, again, this photo is almost suspiciously photoshopped, seemingly. Like, that's how cranked this guy looks right now relative to what I believe he's now.
Bro, his quads literally, his quads picked up like 3 inches, dude. What are you talking about? Like, that's like, he already had big ass quads, but it looks like his quads grew by 3 inches in diameter. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Naturally capable of. So either he is almost certainly taking something right now. Well, again, he's not being tested by USADA, so there is absolutely the most incentive ever for him when he is, creeping into his mid-30s, has to make a dramatic comeback. This is his last shot to do it, essentially coming off of a brutal injury where you would probably be taking.
It's funny because like these are the same people who would say like Liver King is natty, you know what I mean? And we know that that wasn't true.
Certain things in order to expedite your recovery and make sure you come back with enhanced infrastructure to.
Casey Vitor gained 63 pounds of muscle in 28 days. Wait, what? What? 63 pounds of muscle in 28 days? What? Yeah, I don't believe that. That's not real. There's no shot that that's real. The first subject, Casey Viator, gained 63 pounds of muscle in 28 days, and the second, Arthur Jones, gained 15 pounds in 22 days. Also, this is titled like the Colorado experiment is titled in a way where it looks like a failed CIA project or something. The claims are considered controversial because it was only performed with two subjects who were not average but regaining pre-existing muscle mass. No, it doesn't matter. No shot. No matter how much muscle mass you have, gaining and losing it, recomp, this is not a normal level of recomp. You cannot do recomp in 28 days with 63 pounds of muscle. I know you can regain muscle way faster. Jesus Christ, dude. I've literally gone through it. I've been going through it for the past 2 fucking years, brother. I know. Please, man. I work out a lot. Like, look at the before and after. It's crazy. What? Recomp is usually 60 to 80% of previous mass. Okay, but like 28 days is also crazy for it. No, I don't believe this. I just don't believe it. I would love to see the parameters of this study and like how they actually fucking conducted it. I mean, I can imagine there's some secret rich person gene therapy that could do it. What? Oh, you're talking about, man, you're talking about defying the laws of physics and biology and thermodynamics. Like, this is a human being, okay? We're not talking about a fucking gorilla, okay? That's a human being. This is pure science fiction. And by the way, I'm saying this with like while also factoring in an incredible stack, like the most unimaginable stack of all time. 28 days for 63 pounds of pure muscle, no matter how much weight you lost, is literally impossible. I do not believe it. I don't. I immediately am saying, without even knowing anything else, I'm immediately saying no. Okay? 68 pounds of recomposition, 68 pounds of pure muscle in recomposition over the course of a year is actually, with a solid ass stack, is maybe doable. There was a former offensive lineman who lost 100 pounds fasting for 60 days straight with only water. It's wild. That is very different. Water fasts are something I don't recommend it, but you could do it to lose. Yes. The 100 pounds for 60 days straight with water actually makes more sense. We're talking about putting on muscle mass, brother. That's very different. And there are actual legitimate studies done on water fasting and shit. You're talking about losing muscle mass and losing fat is significantly easier than putting on pure muscle. In 1970s, Mr. McGregor, Casey Vitor was invited by Arthur Jones, inventor of the Nautilus machines. Oh. Okay. To participate in what was to be known as the Colorado experiment. The primary purpose was to prove that or disprove the efficacy of the pure Nautilus training in developing a champion physique. This study was performed at a time where the vast majority of amateur and professional bodybuilders developed their physiques through traditional workouts involving the use of barbells, dumbbells, and cable equipment. You know what's really interesting? After this very real study was conducted, which was certainly not like an insane marketing initiative, everyone swapped over to the Nautilus machine. That's right. Oh wait, no, they still use literally those equipments. If they only knew, if the entirety of the bodybuilding community, if they only knew that the Nautilus machine was right there with 12 fucking workouts, with 12 high intensity workouts, you could gain 68 pounds of muscle mass in recomposition over the course of 28 days, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. If they only knew that at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break that is avoidable with a $5 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime. Now, of course, if you don't have both of those things, you can still avoid the top of the hour ad break. That is by getting gifted a sub. It's only something you can do if you're lucky. But, if you're lucky, you can get gifted a sub and avoid the top of the hour ad break that way. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Google Colorado experiment. All you get is bodybuilding websites. Yeah. Dude. I'm going to send this to Jeff Nippard. I want to see what he has to say about this. I feel like... I love that. Look, I love the bodybuilding community so much for exactly this reason. Because no matter how unhinged something is, there is always a person in a bodybuilding forum that will defend it and say, nah, dog, it's actually feasible when you think about it. Okay? Like, no matter what it is, which this, by the way, is literally at the peak of that unbelievable spectrum, okay? On the believability spectrum, this is outside of it at that point, okay? This is like the least believable thing I've ever heard, and it only made it funnier when I found out that he was marketing his Nautilus training equipment and that he only did 12 high-intensity workouts, each of which were less than 30 minutes. Dude. Wow, damn. Gotta get on that Nautilus, dog. That's funny because it's like, yeah, I'm so stupid. What have I been doing? It's taken me 2 fucking whole years to fully get back to like and I'm not the best worker outer, okay? I'll admit that for sure. And I also have a lot of fuck ups in the process. But it took me 2 fucking years to finally get back to 244 pounds and like redevelop all of that muscle mass after after an entire year and a half of like super sedentary lifestyles where basically the damn near majority of my muscle mass atrophied. Yeah, if only I knew the Nautilus machine existed, I could have gotten it back over the course of fucking 28 days? Come on now. This shit is incredibly difficult, which is why you will always see someone like myself, no matter what my opinions are, okay? no matter what my opinions are, I always respect people that put a lot of effort and initiative and a lot of energy into their bodies. Okay? Because I know how hard that shit is. It's so fucking hard. It comes relatively easy to some people, but in order to get to, like, even in order to get to this, you got to put a lot of effort, a lot of consistency. Healthy ways are incredibly hard. How did the McGregor rape accusation derail into this? Because we already know, we've already made up our minds about Conor McGregor being a piece of shit and possibly, allegedly, a rapist. But there are still people in the chat who don't believe that he might be juiced out the fucking gills.
To support avoiding injury in the future, injury proofing yourself, so to speak, and just getting yourself battle ready again when you know you aren't subject to testing. And again, he only has to be tested for 6 months up to his fight if he wants to enter the pool again. And that is not even guaranteed. There is a statement by USADA. Once UFC athletes are enrolled in the testing program, they are subject to testing even when they are not competing, unless they notify the UFC of their retirement, their contract is terminated, or they are otherwise removed from the program. So Conor isn't in the program, presumably, because he hasn't been tested in over a year and a half, essentially, at this point. It's about a year. I forget exactly the amount of months, but it's like, I don't know, 15 months or something. If an athlete returns to the UFC, he or she must remain in the USADA testing pool for 6 months before being allowed to compete. Similar to the WADA rules, the UFC may grant an exemption to the 6-month written notice rule in exceptional circumstances or where strict application of this rule would be manifestly unfair to the athlete. But in both cases, according to UFC rules, under the UFC rules, the athlete must provide at least 2 negative samples before returning to competition. We do not comment on the status of any particular athlete's test panel. So not making any specific comments about Conor, but has to, at minimum, be tested for 6 months, at least 2 test samples during those 6 months. But there are exceptions to the rule, and
yeah, I can't wait for the USADA clearance to not come, and then Conor McGregor says like, "Oh man, I was just like eating something, and it seems like it had HGH in it, like nuclear doses of it." It's so strange how that happened. That's always, bro. It's always like that. They'll be like, "Oh, dude, I had a big whoopsie." And the burrito that I was having every day happened to be made with like steroid horse meat. What? How did that happen, dude? Oh, what? That's crazy. or tainted supplements is another fave, another classic. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was just taking subs and it seems like this supplement had real steroids in it. I have no idea how that happened. That's crazy. The exceptions are when Dana White decides USADA is cucked harder than Sneeko. Yes, and Dana White probably likes this. Dana White probably likes how much money he's going to make off of like a Conor McGregor return story.
Potentially doesn't even have to be tested
Canelo
at all.
Alvarez blames contaminated meat
about what they do nowadays. Back in the day, you could actually see like literal blood test results and urinary.
Dog. For Clen? What the fuck? He wasn't even doing something sick. He was doing Clen? What the fuck? Wait, how badly did he have to cut? Clenbuterol is a steroid for it's a horse bronchitis medicine. And it's a cutter. Like you take it, it's a steroid that basically cleans you out. It's like one of the shittiest steroids you could do. It's not horse pace. It's, of course you would know, horse san. No, that's for sure Mexican meat, bro. Yeah, totally. It is a bronchodilator. I was taking dick pills is another common one. What is this? Cumin? Is this your lawyer dog? First of all, he's right. Cumin is fire. What do you mean? Did you read that as cumin? Y'all are so fucking white. Holy shit, it blows my mind sometimes.
Metabolite testing and whatnot. And here you have nothing. Just like, this is what our general stance is on testing. If somebody pulls out of
the agent says, Clint, isn't a steroid just a bronchodilator? I mean, it's a performance enhancing drug. Bronchodilators are beta 2 agonists, not steroids, dickhead. Okay, so why was he popped for it? It's a steroid in the same way that, like, it's colloquially known as a steroid because it's a performance enhancing drug. And as far as steroids goes, it's the lamest, it's one of the lamer ones. Corticosteroids is still steroids. They are not anabolic steroids. Because it's flagged, not all PEDs are roids. Chatter's an expert. Yes, there are definitely, including the Asian sensation, who is a amateur bodybuilder. Sent us his photos in the past. Yes, there are definitely a lot of HasanAbi heads who love lifting and doing bodybuilding and shit like that. So they do certainly know a lot about steroids and what you would consider to be a performance enhancing drug. Anyway, Conor McGregor, on the other hand, I believe most of you will agree with me on that, is definitely awesome shit. Okay?
The pool goes back into the pool, but no commentary on Conor McGregor's situation, how much he's being tested, why is he not subject to scrutinous testing, what's going to happen if he enters the pool again, how intensely is he going to be tested, what is he going to be tested for, are there, extreme circumstances in which he'd be exempt and he can just show up sauce to the gills? Like, what is going on here with this guy? Because he is, everyone is wondering, like, why hasn't this guy been drug tested? And then, people talk about his injury, getting out of the pool, et cetera, but he has impending plans to come back to the UFC and make a statement. And this does not look representative of...
Why don't you say that to his face in an Irish accent? Do you think I would ever claim that I could beat Conor McGregor? Like, what does that prove? Conor McGregor would wipe me 100%. Like, I'm not some fucking idiot that would ever claim otherwise. Don't be ridiculous. Luckily, I never have to say that to his face in an Irish accent. It would be pretty funny if I could, but I wouldn't do that because I don't want to get fucking concussed. Because he is out of his fucking mind.
I took time off and I'm focusing on, building my physique back to, be fight ready. Like, he has never looked, in my opinion, resembled this in this dramatic of a fashion. So, like, this is almost to the point where I would think the picture is fake. Like, that's how juicy this guy looks. So, again, even in the past, though, it's not like there was certainty around if he's used hormones or anything, but like when you're not even passing the eye test, like the fucking smell test where you just look at a guy and it's like, damn, the dramatic before and after difference when you're a well-trained individual who's been in the gym for fucking years. Now, again, maybe not trying to gain copious amounts of weight, but again, like the lean mass he has packed on in this picture, the quad sweep, like this guy might as well become a fucking IFBB pro, dude. Like, not really, but I mean, like, this is impressive, especially with his, like, fucked up leg, too. Like, to look like this, these are impressive quads to the point that they're suspect as hell and, like, potentially even photoshopped. I don't know for sure, but it's, like, one of two things. Either sauce.
I mean, it's lighting for sure. Lighting is doing wonders, as everybody knows. Anyone who's ever taken a fucking sexy shirtless photo of themselves knows lighting is huge, okay? But not that huge, okay? Not that huge. What the fuck is that? That's crazy. That's a crazy quad muscle, dude.
Or Photoshop, in my opinion. I don't know. It's tough, though. I can't imagine this being a snapshot that was legitimate under those two circumstances, not one of them being applicable. So the comments here. House AF by yours truly. Flame emoji. Good engagement. Who the fook is that guy? Someone call USADA. Dude built like that Iron Man prototype suit Tony Stark built in the cave. Bro.
Someone call USADA. Yeah, literally. What the fuck's going on? How did his face muscles grow so much?
Oh, is fucking jacked. Looking like a war machine, ready to send people to Valhalla. Who the fuck is this guy? USADA licking their lips, lol. Are they though? Shed up, you fool fake. What? Dana says a lot of things. I don't mean it like UFC own USADA like a company. Okay, anyway, them steroids look good on you, my man. Stay juiced. 1,000,000% on the juice. So he looks sick, by the way. Like, this is awesome physique transformation, but I don't even see it reflected in his other shots during his training. Like, is this around that time? Shit hot everywhere. The real goat. There's not a place I'm not great. Like, presumably these are recent, or else he wouldn't be posting them. He wouldn't be posting super old training footage, I imagine. And he does not resemble what he is showing in the video. So that's where I kind of lean towards the Photoshop potentially. Like, this is a really wild before and after. Like, this was some difference this guy posted. This is like, you know, a more realistic shot, in my opinion. Now, how recent is this or how old?
Even there, he looks like a... I mean, even there, he looks a lot different,
Old is this? I don't actually know. But to go from that to this, that's like fucking 20 to 30 pounds of actual
that is
muscle
insane.
accrued, which is just not going to happen naturally,
That,
in my opinion.
like, that's... that. Yeah, no, that's... Look at his face, dude. Look at his face. Look at his fucking face. Look at his face here. Motherfuckers never cut weight in their lives, and you can tell. Sada loves doing surprise visits for everyone but the prize child. To be fair, he isn't cutting for a fight. Most fighters sit 40 plus above their class. So this is a 45-minute of a motherfucker Myron. Send the link. Motherfuckers never cut weight in their lives, and you can tell. Nice Bathroom is the most surprising person that I thought would be on the fucking Conor is not on cycling camp. That's wild. Nah, he's on roids. Okay. Gonna say, come on, brother. he's on a cycle. He's on a cycle that resembles, you know, WWE wrestlers.
How recent is this or how old is this? I don't actually know. But to go from that to this, that's like fucking 20 to 30 pounds of actual muscle accrued, which is just not going to happen naturally, in my opinion. So again, you know, for him, stoked to see his return. I do hope he returns to the cage, but wild to see the metamorphosis and some of these photos come out. I don't think they're representative of his actual physique though, let's be honest. Even if he's on gear, I don't think it's representative of his actual physique. Like, these are newbie, like, hyper responder type steroid gains if he was to actually be looking like this right now. So anyways,
yeah, I was gonna say, even like, as far as like steroid usage, even on steroid usage, that's like, those numbers are crazy.
He's digging the fresh shave. He's rocking it in multiple photos here. He is, okay,
the rest of this video has got to be fucking...
through the doors, bro. I'm that wide. But again, it's not representative of what he actually looks like in my...
Oh, anyway. Bro, Hasan, why is this 100% your style?
This is the Hot Boy's Guide to Dressing Nice. If you're not a hot boy, keep scrolling. It's not for you. You're going to want to achieve the 40-20-20 rule. That's 40% gay, 20% homeless, and 20% recovered addict. 20%.
Bro, this dude looks like he says I'm a pedophile on Twitter and like is a big fan of like edgy content creators.
Homeless, just throw on something thrifted or old.
I've seen some of this guy's videos before. Looks like you a couple of months ago. What do you mean? Fuck, I thought this guy was cool. He's a Hollywood Andy. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this is the most Silver Lake motherfucker I've ever seen. I mean, I've watched some of his videos. He's funny. That is some shit you would wear. Yeah, totally, dude. That's a Whataburger. I would torture him in a shipping container for up to a year. See, this is what I meant. This is what I was talking about. People that post stuff like this unironically. You got that on Twitter, okay? Saw that on Twitter. You thought it was funny, and now you're saying it in the chat. I've seen that. That literally directed at me, okay? That's how I know. Saw it on Twitter, and you thought it was funny, and now you're saying that to him here. The Hogs are turning on DeSantis? No. Sickening breaking news. Team DeSantis is lobbying for an RNC rule change that would ban anyone under indictment. Wait, what? No, this is not real, dude. What the fuck? How did you find like some random schizophrenic Trump supporter with 33 likes and brought it in here as though it's like real? What the fuck? No, the new Mogul Mail didn't just drop. We already watched it. Okay, we already watched the Mogul Mail. It wasn't new. Or I guess it is new, but we already watched it. All right, let's get
Conor McGregor.
In a statement to CBS News, his attorney says the allegations are false. Mr. McGregor will not be intimidated.
Calling out chat, but you steal their jokes all the time. Yeah, that's why I'm calling them out, because I want to make sure that the jokes that I'm stealing from them are fresh. If you get better, I get better.